Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today the topic on which I will be discussing, that is degree of protection or IP codes. So if you see any nameplate of the electrical motors or electrical panel, you can see that in that nameplate you have something written like IP55 or IP54, IP4X. This kind of nomenclature are there. So we will be discussing that thing. Even in your phone also, if you go through the specification of a particular phone, then also you can see that IP protection class has been mentioned there. So we will be discussing what is IP protection class. So equipment has to fulfill its functional requirement. Obviously, whenever you are purchasing any equipment, whether it is a motor or it is a electrical panel or a mobile phone, it has to fulfill its functional requirement. But only that is not enough. The equipment has to be protected against the possible external influences, and the equipment may not be harmful to the user or operator or to the environment. So whenever you are using the equipment, okay, in that particular case, the equipment, first of all, the equipment has to fulfill its functional requirement, and also the equipment should be like that it is not making any harm to the operator or user, and also the equipment is protected against external influences. So to support the use of understanding between user and manufacturer, this requirement IEC 60529 is made. So how the equipment is protected against the external influences, and how the equipment protects the user or operator, there is a guideline which has been defined in IEC 60529. Now IEC 60529 1989 applies to the classification of degrees of protection provided by the enclosures for electrical equipment which is rated up to voltage not exceeding 72.5 kilovolt. The degrees of protection provided by enclosures has been defined as IP codes, and it has two numericals and two optional extra letters. The first numerical is from 1 to 6 or X, defines the protection against ingress of solid foreign objects and against access to hazardous parts. And the second numerical 0 to 8 or X defines the protection against ingress of water. So the IP code is defined like this: first letter IP, second letter protection against ingress of solid foreign objects, third letter is against access to hazardous part, and there is additional two letter are there. Okay, we will be discussing this later. Now we will be discussing the interpretation of the IP code, that is how to interpret the IP code mentioned in the rating plate of the electrical panel or electrical equipment. So first of all, what I will be discussing, the interpretation of the first letter, that is what is written after IP. We will discuss this later. So the first letter serves two purposes. One is protection of person against access to harmful parts. Say you have a electrical motor, so it has live part. Say it is a 6 kV electrical motor, so obviously it is a active part which is 6 kV, whose potential is 6 kV. So how that particular motor protects the person against any live part, and also protection of equipment against ingress of foreign object. Okay, so also we have to check whether that particular motor any foreign object cannot access the live part or cannot go inside the motor. So these two criteria has to be checked, and what kind of criteria it is fulfilling, depending upon that we will give the code, whether it can be 2, it can be 1, it can be 3, anything. So to check the compliance with the first number, two probes has to be used. First one is an access probe and second one is an object probe. Now we will go deep inside the interpretation of the first letter. So as already discussed that the first letter is having 0 to 6, okay, or it can be X, and the first letter is having two meaning, that is for the protection of equipment against ingress of solid foreign object, and the second meaning is the protection of persons against access to hazardous part. Now if the first letter is X, in that case the first letter is not applicable for that particular equipment. Okay, now if the first letter is 0, that means that equipment is not at all protected against ingress of solid object, and also it is not at all protected for accessing the hazardous part of the equipment. Now the first letter is 1. If the first letter is 1, in that case a foreign object having diameter 50 millimeter or above cannot access that equipment or cannot enter into the equipment. And the second is a person using his backhand cannot access any hazardous part of the equipment. Now if the first letter is 2, then it means that the equipment is protected against ingress of solid object having diameter 12.5 millimeter, and it is also protecting a person if he is trying to insert his finger into the equipment. Suppose you are trying to insert the finger in the equipment, then your finger will not touch any live part of the equipment. Now if the first letter is 3, then any foreign object having the diameter of 2.5 millimeter cannot enter the live part or cannot enter into the equipment. Or the second point is that if you are trying to touch any live part using a tool, then it will not give you the access to touch the live part. Then if the first letter is 4, then it is saying that the equipment is protected against any foreign object having the diameter of 1 millimeter, and also the second meaning is that if you are trying to touch the live part using a wire, you cannot access that one. If the first letter is 5, then the equipment is fully dust protected. That means the dust cannot accumulate on the live part or working part of the equipment. And also the second point is that a person or an operator cannot access any live part using the wire. The last letter is 6. It is fully dust tight. Uh, any kind of dust cannot enter into the equipment. And also with respect to operator, the same, that is a operator cannot enter a wire to touch the live part of the equipment. Here I have given a table where each protection class and their definition has been discussed. So first IP1X, the second letter is not applicable. I have mentioned that second letter is not applicable. We will be discussing here on only on the first letter. So when it is 1, so it has two meaning, that is access to hazardous part with the back of the hand and solid foreign object of 50 millimeter diameter. So first what it is saying, that access probe. Here operator is trying to access the live part, so we will be using access probe. So an access probe sphere of 50 millimeter shall have adequate clearance from hazardous part. So say you are trying to access the live part with some instrument which is having the diameter of 50 mm, you cannot touch the live part. So a operator is safe when he is using any instrument which is having the diameter more than 50 millimeter. And the second one is then object probe. That means any sphere, how to test that one, any sphere having 50 millimeter diameter shall not fully penetrate the object, shall not fully penetrate the equipment. Now the first letter is 2, then you have to use a probe, okay, which is having a which is a test finger, that is 12 millimeter of diameter and having 80 millimeter of length. This will have the adequate clearance from the hazardous part. And an object probe which is having the diameter of 12.5 millimeter shall not fully penetrate. Now the first letter is 3. Okay, the first letter is 3, so it will having two definition. First is access to hazardous part with a tool, and second one is solid foreign object of 2.5 mm of diameter. So with respect to first case, an access probe has to be used which is having 2.5 mm of diameter shall have adequate clearance from the live part. And to fulfill the second criteria, that is entering of the solid object, we have to use an object probe which is having the which will be having the diameter of 2.5 millimeter, and that should not penetrate the equipment. The next is IP4. Similarly, it has two meaning. One is access to hazardous part with wear, and the second one is the solid foreign object of 1 millimeter of diameter. So an access probe of 1 millimeter diameter shall have adequate clearance, and also with respect to foreign object, a object probe of 1 millimeter diameter shall not penetrate at all. The next one is IP5X. The first letter is 5. Similarly, it has two definition. One is the protection of a operator, which is access to hazardous part with wear, and the next is the dust protector it is. So an access probe of 1 millimeter diameter shall have adequate clearance, and for with respect to foreign object, ingress of dust is totally prevented. Dust shall not penetrate in a sufficient quantity to interface the satisfactory operation of the apparatus or to impair the safety. That means that it is there that dust cannot enter. However, if the dust can go inside, the quantity of the dust will be very less that it will not hamper the satisfactory operation of the equipment. Now the first letter is 6. So similarly, two options. one is access to hazardous part with wear, and the next is dust tight. So when an operator is trying to access the live part with an access probe of 1 millimeter of diameter, it will not touch any live part, and with respect to foreign object, no ingress of dust is possible. Now we will be discussing on second letter. Okay, so this letter we will be discussing. The second numerical, which is having 0 to 8 or x, defines the protection against the ingress of water. So to pass the test or characteristics of the second numerical, certain kind of water has to be applied, and we have to check whether the normal operation of the equipment is affected or not. So the second letter is having 0 to 8 numericals, or it can be X. So it has only one meaning, that is protection of the equipment against ingress of water with harmful effects. So when the second letter is X, then in that case that it is not applicable for that equipment. If 0, then the equipment is not protected against any kind of ingress of water. If it is 1, then if there is a vertical dripping of the water, then the equipment is protected. Now if the second characteristic is 2, then vertical dipping of the water but the equipment is tilted little bit of 15 degree, then also the equipment is safe from ingress of water and it can operate normally. Third is 3. If the number is 3, then the equipment is protected against spraying water. If it is 4, then the equipment is protected against splashing water. If it is 5, then the equipment is protected against jetting water. If it is 6, then the equipment is protected against powerful jetting water. If it is 7, then the equipment is protected against temporary immersion into the water. And if it is 8, then the equipment is protected against continuous immersion into the water. Now we will be discussing the second letter one by one. So first second letter is 0, it is not protected as already discussed. If second letter is 1, protection against vertically falling drops. That means whenever there is a vertical falling of water drops, and that vertical falling water drop will not create any harmful effect or will not create any hamper on the normal operation of the equipment. Now the second letter is 2. In that case, vertically falling water drops when the enclosure is tilted up to 15 degree. That means the water is falling vertically and you are just tilting the equipment 15 degree. So there is a angle of water drop and the equipment is 15 degree. In that case also the water is not going inside the equipment and it is not hampering the normal operation of the equipment. Now the second letter is 3, same. So it is protecting against spraying water. So what does it mean? Water is sprayed at an angle up to 60 degree on either side of the vertical shall have no harmful effects. So say you are having the equipment and you are spraying the water at an angle of 60 degree. In that case also the normal operation of the equipment will not be hampered. Now the second letter is 4, that is splashing water. What does it mean? Water splashed against the enclosure from any direction shall have no effect. So you are having the equipment and you are throwing the water, you are splashing the water in any direction at any speed. In that case also water cannot ingress inside the equipment and it will not hamper the normal operation of the equipment. Now the second letter is 5, that is water jets. So you are using water jets against the enclosure from any direction and it is not creating any halt or any harmful effect on the normal operation of the equipment. Now the second letter is 6, that is powerful water jet. So you are using water jet using a forceful machine and that water jet is coming into the equipment in different from different direction in different angle. In that case also your equipment is operating in a fine way. The next numerical is 7, that is effect of temporary immersion in the water. What does it mean? What is the definition for temporary? So let's see what is that. Ingress of water in quantities causing harmful effect shall be prevented when enclosure is immersed in 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. Say your equipment is there and you are immersing that equipment with 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. You are immersing the electrical equipment inside the water for 30 minutes. In spite of that, your equipment is working correctly, his normal functionality has not been affected. So in that case, it is the criteria is IPX7. Now the next is the second letter is 8, that is the effect of continuous immersion in water. So what does it mean? The ingress of water in quantities causing harmful effects shall be prevented when the enclosure is continuously immersed in water under condition which shall be agreed between manufacturer and user. Okay, so let's say you are a user, in your area you are trying to have a outdoor electrical equipment and the condition of the area is that it gets flooded. Okay, so whenever there will be flood, your equipment will be under total immersion in the water and it may be for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. So whether your equipment will be able to continuously give power for 2 days or 3 days, that will define whether the second letter is 8 or not. So how long the equipment will be immersed inside the water, whether it is 2 days, 1 days or 20 hours, it has to be agreed between the user and the manufacturer. Now we will be discussing the third letter, this one. Okay. The subclause of 7 of IC 60529 allows the user of an additional letter A to D, A, B, C, D to indicate the protection of persons against access to hazardous part. So you can remember that the first letter is defining two things. One is the access of foreign object or ingress of foreign object, and second is access of any person to the hazardous part of the equipment. Here the third letter is only defining the access of or protection of person against access to hazardous part. Third letter is defining the protection of person against access to hazardous part, and that is and this third letter is required only when if the actual protection against access to hazardous part is higher than indicated by the first characteristics numerical, or if the only protection against access to hazardous part is indicated, that is the first numerical being then replaced by an X. So I can give you an example here. Let's say you are having a electrical equipment which does not require any first letter for ingress of foreign particle, but being an electrical equipment you want that nobody or no operator can access the live part using a tool. Okay, so as if you use X in the first place, that is, the ingress of foreign object is not applicable, you are using X, but it is not giving the full protection, or it is bypassing the protection of the operator. If you are using X, then the operator can use his hand to access the live part also. So in that case, you need to define the third letter. So here the third letter will be C, that the operator will not access the equipment using any tool. So the IP code will be IPXXC. So the first letter is not applicable. You are not bothered whether any um, whether any foreign object is ingressed. You are not bothered about the water is ingressed, but you are bothered whether a operator can access the live part using a tool. Okay. So the higher protection asked in third letter, that is ABCD, may be provided by barriers, suitable shape of the opening or distance inside the enclosure. We will discuss this particular topic later. Okay. So the third letter is nothing but similar, which has been defined a second criteria for the first letter. So ABCD is the third letter, either A, B or C or D, and meaning of the protection of person against access to hazardous part with back of the hand for A. If it is B, then the operator cannot access the live part using finger. If the thing is C, that is third letter is C, then the person cannot access the live part using tool, and if it is D, the user cannot access the live part using wire. Okay. So we have already discussed different access probe. One is back of the hand, the finger, the test rod and test wire. So how this access probe looks? So first, if you are saying that an operator cannot access the live part using the back of the hand, so obviously a operator will not use his hand for testing whether it is protected against my backhand or not. So we have to develop a access probe, mechanical access probe, which will test the degree of protection. Okay, so this is the test probe, which is having a sphere of having 50 millimeter of diameter, having a guard and a handle. Next, to replace the finger with a mechanical probe, this mechanical probe has to be used. This is having a length of 80 millimeter, the diameter is 12 millimeter, and it has a stop face. Okay. Now this is the test rod, which is having a handle approximate of 100 millimeter, a sphere of 30 millimeter of diameter. It can be used as stop face, This is the insulating material. This handle is also insulating material, and the rod is 100 millimeter, and it has the diameter of 2.5 mm, and this rod is metal rod. Okay. Now whenever we are saying that test wear, okay, the test wear, here also the length is 100 millimeter and the diameter is 1 millimeter. This is metal part, this portion is metal part. We are having a stop face which is insulating material having 35 millimeter of diameter, and a handle which is also an insulating material having the length of 100 millimeter. In this slide, we will be discussing test means for test of protection against solid foreign object. Okay, so for the first numerical, when it is 0, no test is required because your equipment is fully unprotected for any foreign object. When the second letter is 1, so how it has to be tested? You are using a 50 millimeter of diameter sphere, and you are forcing that 50 millimeter diameter of sphere using a force of 50 Newton. Now when the first letter is 2, that means a rigid sphere without any handle or guard having diameter of 12.5 mm has been forced with 30 Newton, and it has not engraced inside the equipment. Now when it is 3, a rigid steel rod of 2.5 millimeter diameter with edges free from bars, okay, has been pushed using a force of 3 Newton. When the first numerical is 4, okay, in that case rigid steel wire of having 1 millimeter of diameter with edges free from bars has been forced using 1 Newton. When it is 5, dust chamber with or without under pressure. So we have to put the equipment inside a dust chamber. It may be with pressure or without pressure. And when it is 6, the dust chamber, the inside has to be the equipment has to be placed inside a dust chamber which is having under pressure. Okay. Now we will be discussing how to test the second letter, that is ingress of water, how the test setup is done. So when the second letter is 0, no test is required. That means your equipment is not tested for ingress of water. Next is, if the second numerical is 1, then you have to use a drip box where the rate of flow of water is 1 millimeter per minute, and that test has to be done for 10 minutes. Now if the second letter is 2, you have to use the drip box, and the enclosure of the drip box will be tilted 15 degree. The rate of water flow is 3 millimeter per minute, and it has to be tested for 10 minutes. Okay. Now the second numerical is 3. You have to use a oscillating tube, and the distance will be 200 millimeter, or you can use a spray nozzle, and the spray nozzle will be 60 degree tilted, and the water flow rate will be 10 liter per minute, and you have to do the test for 5 minutes. If the second letter is 4, okay, so in that case the test means is same, that is you have to use a spray nozzle, and the spray will be 180 degree from the vent. The water flow rate is same, that is 10 liter per minute, and the test duration is greater than equals to 5 minutes. Then you are when the second numerical is 5, the water jet hose nozzle of 6.3 mm has to be used and distance has to be 2.5 to 3 meter, and the flow rate of the water will be 12.5 liter per minute, and the duration of the test is 3 minutes. When it is 6, you are using a water jet hose nozzle of having 12.5 mm and the distance is 2.5 to 3 mm, that is similar which is using in case of 5, and the water flow rate is 100 liter per minute and the duration is same, greater than equal to 3 minutes. Now when the second numerical is 7, what you have to do, you have to use a immersion tank and water level of the enclosure is 0.515 meter above top and 1 meter above bottom. The water flow rate is not applicable here because you are immersing the full equipment inside the water tank, and the instrument has to work fine for up to 30 minutes. If the second letter is 8, the immersion tank has to be used water level by agreement as per the user and the manufacturer. Here not applicable water flow rate, and also duration of the test has to be agreed between the user and the manufacturer. Now we will be discussing a particular example which is IP1XP. So the first letter has two purpose. One is protection against ingress of solid object, and the second purpose is protection of person to access any harmful parts against any probe. The second letter is protection against water. This is not applicable here. And the third letter is the additional letter to indicate the protection of person against access to hazardous part. So from the above three statements, that is for first letter, second letter and third letter, we can conclude that first letter option B, that is this one, has to be replaced by third letter of the IP. Okay. So you can see this test example here. So as per the first letter, an object probe having sphere of 50 millimeter of diameter shall not penetrate. Here you can see the gap. This gap is less than 50 millimeter of diameter, so a sphere having 50 millimeter of diameter cannot penetrate. Okay. Now, but an object probe having sphere of 12.5 millimeter can penetrate. So this is the object probe 12.5 millimeter, it can penetrate. So the first letter is applicable here 1, and first letter portion A is applicable. Okay. Now you can see that a joint test finger, this one, having 12 millimeter of diameter and 80 millimeter of length, shall have the adequate clearance from hazardous part. This is the live part, and this probe is not being able to touch that live part. So that is why for 1 only part A is applicable, for B it is the third letter. Okay. Here we will discuss different IPs using illustrative figures. So here IP0X, X is not applicable, that means the ingress of water protection is not applicable. 0 means it is not protected against any kind of ingress of foreign objects. So a sphere of 50 mm can easily touch the live part. So this is IP0X. Now we are having IP1X. 1X means a sphere of having 50 millimeter of diameter cannot access the live part. Then we are having IP2XC. What does it mean? That an object probe 2. I am defining 2. An object probe having sphere of 12.5 mm of diameter shall not fully penetrate. Here the dimension is 2.5 millimeters. So with this gap, a 12.5 millimeter object cannot enter. Okay, but an object probe of sphere having 2.5 millimeter diameter can penetrate. So you can see here that a probe of 2.5 millimeter can penetrate. Okay, but an access probe of 2.5 millimeter, this is an access probe, it is not being able to touch the live part. But the access probe which is less than 2.5, that is 1 millimeter, it can touch the live part. So it is defining C that access probe 2.5 millimeter cannot touch the live part, but below 2.5 millimeter, that is 1 millimeter, it can touch the live part. Okay, then we are having IP1X again. Okay, here the access probe can having 12.5 millimeter of diameter can touch the live part, but a sphere of having 12.5 cannot touch the live part. Now we are having IP2XD. So we can say first we will define 2, that an object probe of sphere 12.5 millimeter diameter shall not penetrate, but an object probe of sphere 2.5 millimeter can penetrate. So 2.5 object probe is penetrating, and because of D, an access probe 1 millimeter diameter shall have adequate clearance from the live part. Okay, IP4X. So what is IP4X? Here the object and access probe of having 1 millimeter diameter cannot penetrate. Now we are having IP1XD. So first we will be defining one, that an object probe having sphere of 50 millimeter diameter shall not penetrate, but because of D, an access probe 1 millimeter of diameter shall have adequate clearance from the live part. So you can say this is the access probe having this 1 millimeter of diameter. It is not touching any live part. Okay, now you are having this IP1XB. For 1, an object probe sphere 50 millimeter diameter shall not penetrate. For the last letter B, a joint test finger 12 millimeter of diameter, 80 millimeter of length shall have adequate clearance from the hazardous part. So this is having the adequate clearance, but a sphere 12.5 mm cannot penetrate here. Then we are having IP3XD, same. Okay, this is 2 millimeter of dimension. So for 3, an object probe 2.5 shall not penetrate. So a object having sphere 2.5 cannot penetrate here. But also for D, an access probe 1 millimeter shall have adequate clearance for touching the live part.